Where were you born?
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Certain part you represent?
Yeah, Jersey City, New Jeru. That's what we call it, New Jeru. Stands for, we reference it to Jerusalem, like the country Jerusalem, because we like the promised land. We got a lot of talent out in Jersey. So that's why I said we got our shot one day. That's why I call it New Jeru.
And still reside in that city today?
Yeah.
Now, what was it like for you growing up over there? Paint that picture for us.
It was like all my homies, like I was like always on the block. I wasn't really the type of school dude, you know what I mean? I was just, school wasn't really my thing. I just was on the block all the time. But I had my pops. My pops, he always was like he was always on me, you know what I'm saying? Like all my homies would be getting locked up, some getting, you know, catching cases or whatever. And my pops was just like, your ass gotta be in the house at 8 o'clock. He was like that dude from Boys in the Hood, his father from Trey's father. He just was always on my ass. But I appreciate it right now. I thank him, you know what I'm saying? Because it made me the man I am today.
Where was Mom?
Mom's was around too, you know what I mean? But Mom's was always, she was always on his side, you know what I mean? She was like, she was a stay-home mom, you get what I'm saying?
And even though she was a stay-at-home mom, you found yourself on the block?
All the time. All the time.
What led to that?
It's just growing up, you know what I mean? Like, since kids, you know what I mean? Just outside on the block. And we found ourselves getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Running from the cops, doing a whole bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Some of my homies are still doing the same bullshit, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
You got into street activity pretty young?
Yeah, absolutely.
What age?
I'd say around like 12 years old.
And what types of things did you get into at 12 and up?
You know, selling weed, you know, dealing with drugs, you know what I'm saying? Getting called by the cops, everybody calling the cops on us and shit. You know what I mean? Riding around in cars and shit, dirty cars and shit. Homies got guns on them and shit like that.
Now, incarceration is one thing that can stem from street activity. There's always certain levels of stress, that looking over your shoulder feeling, sometimes violence, sometimes death.
Facts.
Did you face any of these other obstacles as well?
Nah, like I said, like my pops, you know, he was really on my ass about that shit. Like, he was always telling me like, yo, one day, your friends are all gonna get in trouble. And you know, you're gonna thank me later. And I'll be like, shit, all the ass whippings he gave me and all that, I thank him right now. I'll be like, damn, you know, you really got me out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my older brother, he did the same shit to us. You know what I mean?
He did the same as you guys, or he did the same thing as looking out for you and
yeah,
making sure
like looking out for us. You know what I mean? Like, I have an older brother. He like 2-3 years older than me. But he was just like, it was the same thing. Like, he was just telling us like, yo, y'all gotta be in the house at 8. We'd be like, yo, Pops, can we do this? Can we do it? He'd be like, nah. My Pops is Middle Eastern. He's from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? So whoever had like Middle Eastern parents, they know how it is. Like, you know what I mean? They strict. My mom's is from Colombia. You know what I'm saying? So she was really like whatever what he was saying. You know what I mean?
Were there other family members tied up in street activity too, like yourself, or just you?
Nah, it was just only me and my brother.
Did your brother put you onto that sort of activity, or was it a friend that put you onto that sort of
It
activity?
was basically friends, yeah. He put me and my brother on. Whatever, me and my brother, we just led to like following the homies, you know what I mean? The older people, older than us, we was looking up to them on the block.
Now, did you know this sort of thing going into it that young at 12 years old? Did you know about these type of consequences that could stem?
I had no clue about it. Everything was just flowing. But then later on, I was just always like watching my back, you know what I mean? I was always just looking and realizing like, oh shit is getting real. You know what I mean?
Ever had to do incarceration yourself?
Nah, thank God. I ain't no incarceration, nah.
Ever had a near-death experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What happened?
You know, hanging outside, people don't like our block. They would come by, shoot at us. You know what I mean? You know, stabbings, all of that shit, high school. shit crazy, you know what I mean? Beefing with other neighborhoods. Sometimes I get a lot of shit, like people come up to us and they be like, yo, or like for me or something like that, they would confuse me with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like in the club or some shit like that. That's crazy.
But never been shot, never been stabbed.
Nah, never been like that.
Very
a couple
lucky.
fights or whatever, but none of that.
How'd you learn how to fight?
Shit, by getting fucked up. Basically, just getting fucked up. You know what I mean? Once you get fucked up, I used to get fucked up a lot by people older. I used to be wanting to fight people way older than me all the time. So whatever, when I was young, I used to do anything. Bite, you know what I mean? Fight, whatever. Get beat up and all that stuff. That's how you know. Scratches on my face or whatever.
Why would you want to fight older kids?
Just for the fact that, you know, I wanted to prove myself, you know what I mean, to people on the block. I wanted to tell people on the block, like, yeah, you know what I mean, I could scrap over with this dude or whatever. You know what I mean? But that shit ain't do nothing. Just got me in more trouble.
How big was gang activity back then?
Shit. Damn. Everybody was, damn, my block, everybody was banging. Everybody was banging. That was just the thing over there, you know what I mean? Like, if you wasn't banging, bro, you wasn't hanging with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was. But for me, I just knew how to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know how to spit. So they wanted to have me around. So they'd be like, yo, Breeze, spit something for us. You know what I mean? And shit like that. So they just got cool with me and started, you know what I mean, doing ciphers with, there was Crips, Bloods, all that. We was doing ciphers or whatever.
So you never personally joined a gang?
Nah, never joined a gang, nah.
But they took a liking to you and your music.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And how young did music start in your life?
I started doing, well, my mom was always into music. My pops used to DJ. So that shit was always in my crib, you know what I mean? Like just music in my house from, you know what I mean, soul music, all of that. But then later on, I just had like this thing for rap music, all type of genres. But I started writing poetry. And then, you know, one of my homies, he told me like, yo, you should turn that shit into raps. Cause he was rapping at that time and I was just like, nah, man, this shit gonna be, nah, I don't want nobody, I ain't no rapper. And he was like, nah, yo, this shit sound hard if you turn it into raps. So I was like, you know what I mean? You don't want to show the homies and shit that you rap. You know what I'm saying? But one day I showed my brother, he was like, yo, that shit fly. So I just started showing everybody. Everybody was fucking with it. Ever since then, man, that shit took off. Everything was gravy from there.
You remember what age it was when the poetry and that sort of thing started?
Freshman year of high school.
Oh.
Freshman year, that's when I really started getting into that. I was like in the English class. And, you know what I mean? I was trying to do like this. I was trying to do like a drama class with acting and all that. And I just got into that. Started reading books, Shakespeare, all of that shit. And I just fell in love with that shit, you know what I'm saying? But then I just turned it into raps now.
I want to talk about, and I know you weren't a school kid, but I do want to talk about the school side of you in a second. But I just want to finish up just with the street stuff. Did you have an exit strategy with it? I mean, I know that your dad tried to, and your brother also tried to, you know, stem you away from these type of activities in that path. But did you have an exit strategy with this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I did, but I was just hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't give a fuck about nothing. Like, I didn't care, man. I ain't, at the time, man, like, when you young, you don't even care about death. You don't care about none of that shit until it happens to you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like one of those kids, like, I just didn't care about hanging out with the wrong people, seeing them get in trouble. Like, I thought that shit was cool. Like, I thought that shit was, yeah, we about to go fuck this nigga up. You know what I'm saying? Like, jump him or whatever. I thought that shit was cool, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, damn, man, he got family too, the person that we fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you think he won't go home to his mom's or whatever with a fucked up face? Or, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? Like, we kill him or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So, all that shit, as I got older, shit came in my mind and all that shit, I was like, yo, let me just stick to this music shit.
Because things like that do happen.
Facts.
Maybe not an intentional killing, but things can get out of control.
Just facts.
Now, were there any regrets, hindsight 2020, with the street side of things, were there any regrets for you when you did do that sort of thing?
Yeah, there was because, for the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like, people like that I see right now, they still kind of look at me as that, like, oh, he ain't shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, older people, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, like, the OGs on the block, they still think I'm in the same shit, but, you know what I mean? They don't really give me, like, that chance to listen to me and be like, oh, he trying to do something positive with himself or something like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes even the homies, like, they still think I'm with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we about to go do a lick and this and that, but I ain't with that shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be positive and shit.
Was that tough for you to flip that switch?
Hell yeah. That shit still, yeah, it still is.
How do you do it? There's somebody watching this right now that may be in the same predicament.
Hey, yo, like, sometimes, bro, you see everything is technology now, so they be texting, you know what I mean? Like, doing this and that. Sometimes I don't even answer them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even answer them. And if I see them, I'll be like, yo, shit, damn, like, I'll just keep it. If it's somebody that I really fuck with, I tell them straight up, yo, I ain't into that shit no more. And if you ain't fucking with this, then you know what I mean? If you ain't really, cause I ain't trying to be broke again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really trying to go to jail or none of that shit. I got shit I got to worry about. And if you're not with that shit, bro, I'm really not trying to fuck with that. So if they either don't respect that, I can't fuck with them. That's it.
When do you think that turning point was for you in your life, when you start to flip that switch, when you start to do something positive in your life? What stemmed the change? Was it something that you can recollect in your life that, I don't know if it was a near-death experience or it was something else? Was there something that led you to go the other way?
Yeah, basically, like, it was a it was basically I had an experience where I got laced with some drugs, and I ended up in the hospital, and my homies did that to me. One of my homies, and I haven't seen him to this day, and that right there just showed me, like, you know what I mean, like, that shit had me into another person. You know what I'm saying? And that showed me, like, damn, you can't trust these motherfuckers. These ain't your homies. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't right. They wouldn't want to see me in this predicament in the hospital and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that just made me, like, it was like an eye-opening experience to me to be like, damn, let me just focus on me right now and do what I really love to do. Because I was always doing the music shit when I was with the homies and hanging out. But, you know, you get sidetracked and shit.
Do you think they laced it on purpose to F you up?
Hell yeah.
They did.
They did. Facts.
Now, hindsight 2020, with the street activity life path that you had chosen at one point, was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward, or what you got out of it back then?
The only thing that was worth it was the fun times we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, joking with each other or whatever, hanging out till late. Just like days on the block, drinking, smoking, all that shit. That's the only times I won't regret. But everything else is just like, damn, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I hit this dude? And I seen this dude, like, later on, a couple years later, and I gotta look at this dude and be like, damn, yo, I messed this dude up a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, because that shit could come back to you. That's why I always look over my back now. You know what I'm saying? Because the past will come at you.
It's interesting to me because you had a stay-at-home parent, right?
Facts,
As in
yeah.
your mom.
Yeah.
And for you to be on the block and to do these extracurricular activities here, I find it hard to believe because, you know, you would think that with somebody home all the time that could watch you and know your whereabouts and what's going on, you think that that path wouldn't be a path you would take. Now, if you were, you know, both parents working and they can't really watch you and they don't have time and this, then I could see how this could happen, but.
Yeah, it was so weird because my pops, he did have me in the house, but at the same time, like, I was smart enough to maneuver, like, the shit that I do around him. Like, I just recently told him, like, probably like 2-3 years ago, like, yo, Pops, I used to get high, I used to smoke, I used to drink, I used to do all that shit. But he's seen the person I am today right now. So he'd be like, damn, I didn't have a watch on you like that, but I felt like I knew I was smart about the shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this generation, even if you go to, like, different, like, states like Cali and shit like that, everybody that's banging, some of their parents don't even know that they banging, you know what I mean, until later on, until they get in trouble and shit like that. I just knew how to just stay out of that shit.
So you hid this from your parents?
That's a fact.
Did mom even key in onto what was going on?
I mean, mom, yeah, she knew I was smoking and everything, but, you know, like I said, she was cool about shit like that. I told her not to tell, like, my pops and shit like that, but she was cool about shit like that. But she was telling me just to stop, you know what I mean? Just, you're gonna get in trouble. But my mom's, like, like, put it like this, if I ain't have my pops right now, I'll probably be still doing the same thing, because my mom was cool about everything. Everything
So when she finds out for the first time you're smoking, she's not upset, she's not disappointed?
I mean, she took me to the side or whatever. She just like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But my pops, he would give me the hands. My pops was giving me the hands. Like, he wasn't play that shit. Pops was just like, that's one thing that I wanted to avoid it. But my moms would just tell me, like, in a nice way, like, yo, son, you gotta stop what you're doing and this and that. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop. But then it just never worked.
Now, you were in school.
Yeah.
And then you were also 1 foot with this type of path.
Right.
At one point in your life. Were you able to still complete high school?
I ain't graduate. I ain't graduate at all. I just got my GED. I got out, and that's all I did. But with the school shit, like being around other students and shit like that, getting in fights and shit like that, I ain't had that shit. I wasn't beef for that shit.
What grade was it when you dropped out?
Junior year.
11th grade. 11th grade. Almost done.
Yeah, almost done.
When you drop out,
it's crazy. Yeah.
Was the reasoning because you were suspended or expelled?
Nah, it just was because, like, I just wanted to pursue my music. Like, I wanted to just focus on my music. Like, I didn't care about. I remember, I could never forget this day. I was in math class, and the teacher was, how the teachers be calling on you when you're not answering a question and nothing like that. She called on me, and I just stood up and I was like, yo, fuck this class, I'm out. I'm not even coming back here. And that's it. And I just told my pops, she called my pops or whatever, and this and that. I told my pops straight up, like, yo, I'm done with school. I don't want to go to school. I said, find something else, because I want to either work or like, just focus on my music.
You said your dad was pretty hard on you.
Hell yeah.
But
he accepted that. I told him straight up as a man, because junior year, you kind of be knowing what you want to do already. So I told him that. I told him, like, yo, I'm done with school. That's it.
Was he upset? Was he disappointed?
Hell yeah. He was real disappointed. To this day, sometimes he be like, dang, man, you should have went to school. But he fuck with the music, though. He know what I'm doing with the music, so he proud of me about that, too. Like, he be hearing my shit, so he be like, people be talking and like, yo, your son doing this. He be like, yeah, he's proud about that.
Now, sometimes I do these types of interviews, and with high school dropouts, they don't get their GED, right?
Yeah.
What was your reasoning to actually get that and complete it?
Because, like, I was always focused on the music, but at the same time, I was just like, damn, man, like, I ain't trying to be like my homies on the block and sell drugs and all that shit and get caught up. So I might as well try to get a job or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I said, damn, what I gotta do to get a job? Because I know people in high school. I mean, I know people that, dropped out of high school. They got banging ass jobs, but I was like, fuck it, I might as well get it just to have it, you know what I'm saying? So I did that. And then all of a sudden, I just was, after that, after I got the GED, I just started focusing on the music. That's all I did from there.
Now, how long after you drop out do you obtain the GED? How much time do you think elapsed?
Before, like, I really started getting into music?
No. Before you get the GED. You drop out in 11th grade, but then you get the GED at some point in your life.
Yeah.
How much time passes between you dropping out and you obtaining that GED? Are we talking 6 months? Are we talking a year, 2 years, 3 years?
2 years, around 2 years.
When you actually do the GED, because there's some people watching this that are thinking about doing that, was that hard or easy?
It was hard as a motherfucker. That shit was hard as hell, but you know what? Like, the type of person I am is just like, if I know I gotta study to get something, and this is like something important for me, because I ain't give a fuck about a test or whatever, you know what I mean? Like a grade or some shit like that, but I knew if this is what's gonna get me out of here, then I had to study. So I studied that motherfucker. That shit was like this, that book was so thick that you had to study, bro. I was just like, this shit look like an encyclopedia or whatever, dictionary. But shit, I got it.
And you passed on your first time?
First time.
Now, hindsight 2020, right? Looking back at your life, do you regret that decision? Do you wish you would have just finished out high school and graduated on time?
Hell yeah.
Instead of the GED route?
Facts, man. Just, it's just like graduation, prom and all that shit. Like, I ain't get to do none of that. Like, I be seeing like my little brother or whatever, you know what I mean? He be going to prom, you know what I mean? He got all his friends, he got the girl with him, and I'm like, damn, man, I wish I had that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I did get to play in the basketball team, though. I was nice to the motherfucker. Basketball, man. I was ill with the ball.
JV, varsity?
Varsity.
What?
I went to a private school and I got kicked out because of my grades. You know what I mean? But they took me in because my basketball, you know what I mean? They accepted me. But then once they was like, yo, you gotta pick up your grades, and shit didn't work out, so they just kicked me out.
What position did you play?
Point guard.
And what jersey number did you have?
Shit, damn, I don't even remember. I think 25.
Was there a meaning behind the 25?
Nah, they just put that shit on me.
Could you have been good enough to get some sort of athletic scholarship had you kept going with it?
Hell yeah. I was real good, man. I just started fucking up. Just hanging out. Just doing dumb shit. All my homies would be coming to the game and shit. We'd be smoking right before the game. Getting in trouble after the game. Fighting the other players on the other team. You know what I'm saying? But damn, I would have been good, you know, if I would have kept it up with the ball and shit like that. I wasn't even that tall, too.
Now, financially, how did you grow up? Was it poverty? Was it lower middle class? Was it middle class? Was it upper middle class?
It was like lower middle class. Lower middle class. We was all in an apartment. We only had 2 bedrooms. It was me, my brother, my little brother, and my father and my mom. Sometimes motherfuckers had to sleep in the couch. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Was your family able to move up to a higher financial class at some point?
Yeah, absolutely. My pops, you know what I mean, he did his thing later on, you know what I mean? Like, my pops was like a truck driver. So back in the day, when I was younger, he used to take me on the road with him and shit like that and show me what it is and shit. Like I said, man, he got me out of trouble a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes he'd be like, yo, Saturday, come with me. Just, you know, I'm gonna show you how it is. And later on, you know, he started getting his bread together and, you know, they moved into a house or whatever.
You think this environment of lower middle class, this led to the street activity at 12 years old? Like, was it a want for money at that age that led to that, or was it something else?
Yeah, it was definitely the lower middle class stage because we was on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was on the block, and I'm still on the block, actually. But they see me as a different person, though, you know what I mean? But you always, like I said, you always gotta watch your back because there's haters everywhere, you know what I'm saying? They see you in a nice car, they see you with jewelry, all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? They wanna know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? But when I was younger, the middle class, it made me see all the friends, because most of my friends was lower class, you know what I mean? Most of my friends didn't have a father, you know what I'm saying? They moms was whatever, you know what I mean? They pops was in jail, everything like that. So when my pops would be yelling at me, they'd be like, yo, why you letting your father yell at you like that? You know what I mean? Because they ain't really had that experience.
You had a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
Parents ever split, or do they still remain together?
They still remain.
What do you think their secret is?
Shit.
A lot of broken homes out there.
I would like to know, bro. I would like to know. I to this day, man, like, I be telling my pops, man, I wish I could get a girl like mom. You know what I mean? Marry a girl like mom. I don't know what it is, but they stay together for like 30 years now, 35 maybe.
What did living in lower middle class teach you? What did you take away from that environment there?
Because it was like a scale. Sometimes we was middle class and sometimes we ain't have shit. But then my pops had to work back up to get to the middle class, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yo, all right, we're gonna eat a steak tonight. But then on Friday or Tuesday, we gotta eat fucking hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that escalated, but we always have fun, man. Like, it was just laughing all the time, just have fun. We didn't give a fuck about being poor or none of that shit.
There might be somebody watching this right now that's in that lower middle class environment themselves. Anything you would say to a person going through that?
Like in the lower middle class level?
Yeah, living that lifestyle.
Like the same time, like pops and moms in the house and stuff.
You know, I don't know about that, but I mean just financially, just that lower middle class level of living.
I would tell them to find something that they want to do. Find something that they really love doing, and don't give a fuck about what nobody's saying or nobody says. You know what I'm saying? Because you got homies or your boys or whatever, they gonna tell you like, yeah, you can't do that shit. Or they can't picture that shit in their mind about you doing something that you want. If you want to be a ball player and you know you good, just keep on sticking to that in your mind, because sometimes your homies are gonna be the one that put you down and be like, yeah, you ain't gonna go to no NBA or nothing like that, or you ain't gonna be no doctor or nothing like that. But you really study this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my homies, like, he's a smart motherfucker. Like, he wants to be a doctor, but he's scared to tell people that he was scared to tell people that he was studying medical books and shit like that. That's how niggas is. Like, they won't even admit it to you. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say for them is just like, do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Because if you already there, you know what I'm saying? But you can reach that higher level soon if you just put your mind to whatever you want to do. Positive, though.
Now, back then when you were going to school, I know you didn't like it. I know sometimes you were getting into fights and things of that nature. And how would you characterize yourself as a kid in class, though?
I think in high school, when I first started, I just stopped bringing books with me to school, stopped bringing all that. I used to try to look fly just to get to school and all that. Try to talk to the girls or whatever. But as far as bringing books, I never had no book bag, none of that shit. I didn't even have a locker in high school, bro. I used to use people's lockers and shit just to put my jacket in there and shit because I didn't give a fuck about that shit. I just stopped caring about school. Like that shit, probably the only class I went to was like gym or some shit like that. Or if it was a badass bitch in the other class, I'd probably go in that class and try to talk to her or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of girls, how young were you when you lost your virginity?
Sheesh. I was like 17. I ain't even go up front. I was 17. I don't know what it is though, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, all my homies used to have the girls and shit like that, but I was always shy and shit. But all the bitches loved me for some reason. They used to be like, yo, why you friends shy? I met this one chick. I lost my virginity to her and shit like that. Shout out to her.
Was she a virgin too?
Nah, she wasn't a virgin. She wasn't a virgin at all. But you know what? I was always the shy person. But then after that, all her friends be like, damn, I feel bad for him. But once I got her and I fucked her good, she was like, damn, what you do to me? I didn't know you was gonna come out like that. I was like, shit, thanks to pornos, X videos, you know what I'm saying?
So your first time was a good experience?
Hell yeah.
Because I've done interviews where people's first time was pretty bad.
Shit, they don't know what they doing. That's why I said, you know what I'm saying? I used to watch movies and all that shit, so that shit helped me out. I ain't even go front, man. That shit helped me out.
But sometimes the movies can have expectations a little too high compared to real life.
Yeah, motherfuckers thinking they're a celebrity and shit when they fucking, they be thinking like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. But once they get in there, the girl don't want to hit them up again. That's it. I was like, shit. But once I got done with that and I lost my virginity, I called all my homies. Yo, damn, I just fucked this girl, man. Yeah, shit went down and this and that. I don't know what it is. It's like once you lose your virginity, it's like like you keep on fucking. Like everything just keeps on happening. I was like, damn, bro, this shit was crazy. Yeah, that shit was something I won't forget.
That moment when you lost it, was it spontaneous or was it premeditated?
No, I knew I was gonna fuck that night.
Okay.
Definitely knew I was gonna fuck it that night. She called me and told me that her mom was out the house. I just went up in there.
Now, were you using protection?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, this person, did you become girlfriend and boyfriend at
Yeah,
one point?
we had a relationship and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, she was crazy. Damn, I ain't gonna say that because she knows who she is. But she know what she did. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, we still friends to this day or whatever. But it's just like shit ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't really working out between us.
Now, when it came to you hanging out in school, were you part of a certain clique or crowd back then?
Yeah, see the thing about it, in my high school, we had different sets in our school. Like, it'll be like this block. Like I went to Dickinson, so Dickinson is a high school that every gang is in there from every set. See now it would be segregated. Like one set was chill right here, one set would chill across the street, one set would chill in the projects. But like for me as a rapper, like you would see me in different sides all the time because these people, the Spanish motherfuckers fucked with me. The people from here would fuck with me. They were just because I was a spitter. You know what I'm saying? They knew I was doing. I'm selling my CDs to them back then. You know what I mean? $5 a pop. And motherfuckers was buying it. So that's what happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was just different sets around.
And were you promoting a song back then when you were in school?
Yeah, I was promoting a song. I did my first video and shit like that when I was like 17. I did my first real big video when I was 17. I came back to school and everybody seen. I thought I was a celebrity. Even the teachers seen that shit.
What was the name of the song? Do you remember?
It was Survival of the Hood. It was remixed to the Mobb Deep Survival of the Fittest. But I had my own version. I had all my homies in that. Some people in that video, they're not even here. Like they already got life in prison and all that shit.
Is that song somebody could still look up to this day and
Hell
hear?
yeah. People still hit me up about that shit. They still hit me up. They be like, yo, I remember when you was doing that song, that video was hard. Some people say that's like one of my best videos. I'd be like, yeah, but I got new shit right now. They'd be like, yeah, but the quality, that shit was crazy. Like, it was grimy old school. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to, like, my influence is Mobb Deep. I used to fuck with Mobb Deep heavy. So I used to dress like them motherfuckers and everything.
Now, did you ever take music classes when you were in school?
Facts. That's a fact.
What'd you do?
There was this teacher, I forgot his name, but we had a music class in the basement because my school was big as hell. He used to have these pianos stacked up. Me and my boys used to be making beats all the time in the back, just fucking around with the piano. And he used to kick us out of class because he used to try to teach some bullshit to us, like about it was like some songs he used to play and shit like that, like Lean On Me and all that shit. But like me and my boys just in the back just making these beats. So he used to be kicking us out the class for that shit. And we was just getting in trouble and shit because of that.
So did you actually learn an instrument or no?
Nah, I ain't learned shit. We was fucking around with the keyboard.
Never did the band, never did chorus?
Nah. I always wanted to learn an instrument though. I ain't even gonna front. I always wanted to learn an instrument.
You were freestyling and battle rapping classmates back then?
Yeah. Not battle rapping. You know what I mean? Battle rapping is hard though, you know, I fuck with that, but I was always the type to write some shit, memorize it, and then I would just come to school the next day and be like, yo, look what I got right here. We used to be freestyling in the bathroom, smoking up the bathroom. Even the guards used to come inside with us and smoke with us and shit. And he used to be like listening to us rap and shit. You know what I mean?
Were you good at freestyling?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Good enough to kick something right now on the spot?
Hell yeah. I could.
Go ahead.
The gold chain flexor, pistol by the polo, beamer coated matted so the coops I'm always dolo. Joey Piscopo flow, Rolly bezel rose gold. Never trust a nigga ever since I saw Manolo. Character is low pro, never scared of popo. She asked me for some hundreds and I said it was a no-go. Plans develop faster when I focus on my dreams. The homie was a straight A student, became a fiend. Radio Raheem, put your face up on the glass. Disinfect, shit like that. Yeah, but you know what to do, you know what I'm saying?
Did you participate in talent shows back then?
Yeah, I had this one talent show. My first talent show was in a church, actually, and it was across the street from my high school, and then I was like, damn, man, I don't even want to go to this because I'm about to curse and shit like that, and it's in a church. But then one of the dudes was like, nah, it's a church, but it's just like it was weird. Like they had like these people coming in to listen to hip hop music, and I'm like, so I could curse? And he'd be like, yeah, you can curse on it. So I was like real nervous, but me and my homie, we did a show together there, and we was on stage. I was nervous as hell, you know what I mean? And I was performing in front of all these people. I forgot the age I was, but it was in high school though.
Did you place?
What you mean?
Like first, second, third type of thing?
Nah, they didn't have no place. They didn't have no. It was like a open mic.
Ah. Now, after you get the GED, do you end up getting a job, or is music taken serious?
Hell yeah, I got a job. I had a job. The first thing I was doing, I was working in this restaurant, Mexican restaurant. I was a busboy. My homie, he put me on and shit. He was working over there, but then he got locked up. He did some time and shit. But other than that, I was like a busboy. But what made me stop that shit was just like, you know what I mean? The bosses would be like, yo, my job was to take like plates and shit, you know what I mean, and bring it to the kitchen. This motherfucker would have me clean his car and shit. I'd be like, that ain't my fucking job, you know what I'm saying? So I left that shit. I only worked there a week. Then I got this job in a supermarket. And then Hurricane Sandy fucked up everything. So ever since that Hurricane Sandy shit happened, they fucked up the whole supermarket. And I've been out of a job since.
What was your position there?
I was a stock boy, the floor boy or whatever, just lining shit up in the aisles and shit.
Now, were any of those, I mean, even though you didn't do them for very long, were any of those jobs tough?
Hell yeah. Period, tough about it is just waking up in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, like now I'm a morning person because I'm off my health shit, but when I was younger, just waking up in the morning wasn't my thing. Just especially when it's cold and shit outside and shit like that, going to work, that shit wasn't really my thing.
Any crazy stories, anything that happened out of the norm in that amount of time while you were on the clock, other than the car wash thing?
Yeah, facts. When I was in the supermarket.
What happened?
me and my boy, they used to have these ice boxes. These ice boxes where they put all the frozen food in there and shit. My homie was smoking in there, And we just started ripping all the ice creams out. Started eating everything, ice cream, cookies, all that shit inside the freezer and shit. We was there for like 2 hours. Nobody said shit. But then later on, they caught him on camera. He got fired and shit. So I was like, ah, damn.
Now, if you could, would you ever consider owning a restaurant, like similar to the restaurant you worked at?
Oh, the restaurant I worked in?
Yeah. Would you ever consider owning a restaurant of that magnitude, or, I mean, even a supermarket? Would you ever consider owning one of those?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would, yeah, of course, invest in like businesses and all that shit. I mean, that's the goal. That's the goal. You can't just be sticking to rapping. People be thinking that rappers are rich, but most of the time these rappers got investments. Rappers, they don't just rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got like, they own shit. You know what I mean? That's what gets you the money.
I get that, but I'm just curious about these two businesses. Because you actually worked in these two businesses, would you ever consider owning one of those type of businesses that you worked in?
Oh, facts, yeah. Probably the restaurant. I don't know about the supermarket though, because that was in like a corporate like supermarket. That was in like ShopRite or some shit. It was like a hood supermarket, like in the community. But the restaurant, nah, hell yeah, I own that shit. That was in the city.
Do you still eat at that spot or no?
Nah, they closed that shit down. It was like a health inspection or some shit like that. They closed it down. Or the boss was fucked up or whatever.
Did you see them breaking health codes while you were there?
Yeah. I seen that motherfucker doing coke in front of me. Oh. My boss, he was doing coke. He was crazy, you know what I'm saying? He used to break plates and shit, come in late, sweating all that shit. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that shit was gonna close down though. That shit definitely closed. And on top of that too, I put all my homies in that job. Every one of my homies was like, yo, what's up, Breez? Yo, like, you gotta hook me up with a job. All right, come tomorrow. You see my homie and shit with an apron and all this shit, working the next day and shit. Sometimes we throw salsa at each other and shit at work. Shit was crazy.
You do have other siblings.
Yeah.
Where do you fit on the ladder? Oldest, youngest, middle?
I'm like the middle. The middle is.
What's that like, being in the middle?
Yo, man, that shit difficult sometimes, bro. Like, sometimes I feel like I can't put my opinion in. You know what I'm saying? It's either my older brother, he's the one that speaks, or it's just like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm keeping it real. Like, sometimes my opinion doesn't even matter to my parents. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I gotta set myself away from these people, like my parents and shit. Sometimes I gotta set myself away from them because sometimes they don't really understand me or what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So they look at my brother like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's number one and this and that, which is cool and everything, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I need my opinion too. You know what I mean? My opinion gotta matter.
How do you break through that?
I just walk away. I don't even, because it always becomes an argument. So what I would do, I just would leave the crib. You know what I'm saying? Just like bounce and shit like that.
Anything you would say to somebody that's a middle child themselves watching this?
Yeah, I mean, they probably going through the same thing as me. You know what I'm saying? Or went through the same thing as me. Shit, like, the best thing to do is you just can't keep on arguing. When you know you right or you wrong and shit like that, like, just walk. When you walk away or you just put your music on or whatever, like, everything just erases from your mind, you know what I mean? Like, you come back to that situation as a new person because you got time to think about what you're gonna say or, you know, what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, these are your parents, you know, you can't get physical with them. You just gotta, it's always gonna be like bumping heads with each other.
Anyone else do music in your family aside yourself?
Nah, just me.
What does your family think about your music career at this point?
Before, when I first started, they was like I said, I had my pops in the Middle East, or like he's from Egypt. So from where they come from, they'll be like, yo, school's number one priority. So when I said the music, like this mom, he went nuts. But then after that, when he heard me, he gave me a chance and all that. He was like, yeah, you sound pretty good. You sound good. And when he seen everybody on the block talking about me and this and that, like your son can rap and this and that, he just like accepted it. And now he just like goes with it. Like, he's like, all right, cool.
What do they think about the actual music?
I feel like my pops don't understand it. Cause you know what I mean? Cause, you know, he don't really, you know, he not from this country like that, but he don't understand it, but he knows that it's good just for the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, people are telling him. You know what I mean? Like, your son, you know what I mean? This and that. And he just goes like, all right, cool. And he likes the sound and shit too, you know what I mean? But like I said, he was a DJ too, so you know, he's just a DJ, but he don't even know what the fuck he was mixing. He just like DJing this shit, but he know good music, basically.
What about the cussing?
The cussing, yeah, he didn't, you know, it don't matter. You know what I mean? I was cussing in front of my pops when I was like, maybe like 15, started cursing around him and shit. Like right when I started music, he used to hear it. I ain't gonna lie, I used to be kind of shy when the part used to come up and I'm about to curse. But now it's just like, it's whatever.
Have they ever had a chance to see you perform live yet?
Nah, not yet. They see my videos though. They seen all that stuff. You know what I mean? They seen everything like that. But shit, I want them to one day.
Best advice mom or dad has given you at this point?
Well, my mom told me to stay away from like these dirty bitches. You know what I mean? She was telling me like, there's a lot of girls out there that, you know what I mean, they just, you know what I mean, they gonna use you. You know what I mean? They tell you that they like you, but they really into something else. My pops always told me just watch my back. You know what I mean? There's no friends. You know what I mean? Just do your, if you like music, stay motivated and do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Just if you love what you do, just do it till you die. That's it.
You following it?
Hell yeah. That's what I've been doing right now. Facts, man. You know what I mean? Just traveling a lot. You know what I'm saying? I did a video in Dubai. I went out to Dubai, shot a video out there. You know what I'm saying? Went to Vegas, all that shit. Been traveling a lot. You know what I mean? Just shooting videos and, you know what I mean? Getting a different experience of traveling the world and shit.